UFC Fight Night Perth, DELLA MADDALENA versus PRATES just went down, and I'm going to give you my breakdown over the entire card. Overall, it was an alright card. The prelims definitely lacked. Main card did make up for it in the last few fights, but overall, it wasn't terrible. Let's get right to it with the early prelim opener. We had Dom Marfan versus Cody Steele. Cody went out there and, got the takedown. Immediately looked good. It looked like he was going to be very dominant. And then Dom Marfan swept him, and they kind of just started scrambling. And it was fun to watch. They had some solid scrambles going. And then Cody Steele ended up locking up like a heel hook leg lock deal, and fan tapped. But yeah, Cody Steele got this one done by sub. It was a pretty fun little scrap to start off the card. Next up, we had Jonathan Mikhailov versus Temba Gorimbo. Mikhailov got this one done. I thought he stole the first round. It was very close though, so I could see the argument for Gorimbo to win this fight. I think Gorimbo won the second, and then round 3 clearly went to Mikhailov. He really turned it on in round 3. I'm not upset with this decision. Like I said, it was a very, very close first round, but I thought that Mikhailov stole it at the very end there. Gorimbo's just not very good. It's a good thing The Rock bought him a house, because he wouldn't be able to afford one with how he fights. It's just how it is, I guess. But Mikhailov got this one done. Did not look the best. I don't really think he's a big prospect, but he could turn it around. He is still young in his fight career. Yeah, he got this one done. Next up the card. Man. We had Ben Johnston versus Wes Schultz. Cut both of these guys. This was a terrible fight. First off, this guy just stuck his head in a guillotine probably 6 times. Yeah, 5 times. Wes Schultz just kept going for guillotines, though. Granted, Johnston was just sticking his head into him, but try something else. It did end up working, though. Johnston looked like he was probably going to win, and then he ended up getting subbed. Yeah, not a good fight by either of these guys. Yeah, I don't see a future in the UFC for either of them. Get rid of them ASAP. Thank you. Next up the card, we had Colby Thicknesse versus Vince Morales. I thought Colby clearly won the first 2. Morales could have definitely finished him in the third, but he has negative fight IQ. So that's kind of where I'm at on this. I thought Colby was up 2-0 going into the third. In the third, Morales hurt him on the feet, had him kind of doing the little chicken dance, wobbly legs, and then ended up like locking up a front headlock and just trying to take the back and not really getting in a submission position. So he lost this fight. Yeah, that's really all there is to it. Morales has negative fight IQ. He could have won this fight. A few more shots to the head, and Thicknesse would have been done. But he got lucky. Ended up winning this one, pulling it off. Big ups to him. Next up the card, we had Jacob Malkoun versus Gerald Meerschaert. Um, I went with Malkoun to win this fight. I thought Meerschaert was done. You know, he hasn't really been able to build into his fights like he has done in the past. Um, but he built into this fight like a prime GM3. It was fun to watch. I do think Malkoun won this fight. I am seeing people angry at Meerschaert, or not angry at Meerschaert, angry that Meerschaert didn't get the win. I thought Malkoun did enough to win. Uh, you know, if Meerschaert had another round, he definitely would have won this fight. But that's how it goes, you know. Yeah, I mean, he really just. I thought he was done, honestly. In the lead up to this fight, in my predictions video, I said he should retire, win or lose. I still wouldn't mind seeing him retire, but he might be able to crafty vet his way into another win. He did not do it this time, though. Jacob Malkoun, good job. Next up, we had Junior Tafa versus Kevin Christian. Why can the Indians not find one guy to win a UFC fight? If I'm not mistaken, they have had a female fighter win in the actual UFC, but the men have not been able to win in the UFC, and it does not make sense to me. There's a billion roughly of them little motherfuckers running around, and they cannot find one that can win a fight. You know, big, gangly, kind of unathletic, just, you know, doesn't have that dog in him. Tafa got this one done. Got his leg chewed up, though. Christian was hammering that leg, but he wasn't putting anything in front of the leg kick, so Tafa was able to counter, and then he countered with power, put him down, and then put him away with big elbows, like knocked out cold with big elbows on the ground. I truly am curious why they cannot win a UFC fight. Yeah. One of the world's greatest mysteries. Next up the card. Feature fight of the prelims had Cam Rouston versus Robert Bryczak. Rouston pretty well wrestle fucked him. I mean, that's what it was. He did look better than I expected him to look. You know, I do think he has some potential, but I don't think he's gonna be a killer in the middleweight division. You know, sorry, didn't realize his name was covered. My apologies. Yeah, I don't think Rouston's gonna really be a highly ranked guy in the middleweight division. Not a whole lot to say about this fight. Rouston looked huge in there. He looked much bigger than Bryczak. Yeah, I mean, he got this one done. Big ups to him, I guess. On to the main card. We had Tai Tuivasa versus Louis Sutherland. This was one of the heavyweight fights of all time, for sure. Oh, wow. This was, yeah. I had Tuivasa winning this fight. He did not. He did not at all. This was a true wrestle fuck. Sutherland hit a spinning elbow on him, and then followed that up with a knee to the face, like almost immediately. And Tuivasa did not go down, did not really get rocked. So he does still have a chin, but I mean, once it got to the ground, it was over. I mean, there was nothing he was able to do. Yeah, definitely one of the heavyweight fights of all time. Next up, fight of the night. I agree with this for sure. This was a sick fight. We had Shamil Gaziev versus Brando Pericic. You know, I do like Shamil, but I think he needs to lose weight. If he cuts some weight, really works on his striking, I think, you know, he gets to where he's walking around 270, 275, somewhere around there. Maybe on fight night he's walking around like 260. I think that would do wonders for him. I think he's really got to change something. Whether it be switching gyms, cutting weight, he's really got to lose something. I think he's cutting from like 300 pounds to make heavyweight right now. So, I mean, he's got a hell of a chin. Hell of a chin. Brando, he was whacking him clean with big shots, and they just were not putting him away. He ate a lot of shots in this fight. I just don't really know. I would like to see him cut some weight. Maybe walk around, like I said, around 270, 275. I think that'd make him faster, make him more athletic. You know, he'd have better agility, faster. Maybe put on some muscle. He's kind of just a fat guy. You know, fat guy with a great chin. Played volleyball. I do think he could tweak just a few things and really kind of not go on a run. You know, I think the Gaziev title run memes should be probably over now. But I think he could be a decent heavyweight fighter, you know, if he just tweaks just a few things, you know. But good job to Brando. This was a sick fight. Every time Gaziev got him up against the fence, the ref separated them, and they just went back to brawling. So, good job to Brando. Got this one done. Gaziev has some work to do to get back in that W column. Next up, we had Marwan Rahiki versus Ollie Schmid. I chose Rahiki in my parlay video. This wasn't announced yet when I made my regular predictions. But I mean, Rahiki, he's a solid fighter. Very good on the feet. This was a sick fight. Both guys just came out and started chucking wheel kicks. Eventually Rahiki found a left hook that dumped Ollie, and then he ended up putting him away. Yeah, first round KO is about the best outcome you can have if you're a minus 800 favorite. That's about all you can have, in my opinion, to be justified to be a minus 800 favorite. And he went out there and did it. The commentary was not happy with him and how he was talking shit before the fight. They were saying he was very arrogant and he really needed to have a great performance to back it up. And he did. He got it done. Good job, Marwan. Getting this one done. Next up the card. We had Tim Elliott versus Steve Erceg. This was a sick fight. First round Elliott looked phenomenal. Alright. Whoa, let's back her up here. Elliott didn't look phenomenal, but he looked very good. Very capable of winning this fight. And then, You know, he was just doing weird shit, but it was working. And then Usyk just really turned it up in the second and third and stole this fight. Um, you know, if he didn't make those adjustments from round one to round two, Elliott probably would have continued to just kind of build on this fight and then get the decision or even a finish. He was really looking good in the first round. But then Usyk, like I said, just turned it on. Really, got it going, found his rhythm, hit his stride in the about midway through the second round, and then the third round was all Usyk. I'm not really sure where he goes from here. He did get the win. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure who hurt Usyk should fight next. Uh, he was kind of on. I think he was on a 3-fight skid. I think it was Pantoja, Kara France, and I think he lost to someone else. And then I believe he got a win. Um, but he's just kind of had a rocky start to his UFC career. And I think he should turn it around and kind of hit his stride in his career now. Um, but yeah, Usyk got this one done. On to the co-main event. We had Beneil Dariush versus Quillan Salkild. What did I tell you? You know, he was a little too light. He was a little too light for Dober, for the instincts to kick in. Salkild's on another level. You know what I mean? That's all there is to it. Um, yeah, I mean, Beneil did look good. That chin's just gone. That's really all there is to it. He dropped Salkild like a flash knockdown in the first, early in the first. I believe 4 minutes or something like that, right around there. And then they started grappling. Salkild ended up getting up, and as soon as they broke free, they just started chucking bombs. And Salkild connected, put away Dariush. Um, yeah, I mean, so he dropped him. Dariush kind of went for like a single leg, high C single leg. He was on the ground. Salkild took the back, ended up just feeding him juicers on the fence and put him away. Um, yeah, I mean, Dariush just cannot really take a punch anymore. That's really all there is to it in this fight. Salkild got it done. On to the next. Got another bonus. Um, he's really starting to form a solid little resume for himself. You know, um, take that with a grain of salt. But he did call out Gamrot. I think that'd be a solid fight. Uh, we saw in the Jewish guy Yashmus. I think that's his name. Uh, Salkild does have decent wrestling, decent grappling. Um, I'd like to see him in there with Gamrot. I think that'd be a fun fight to watch. I think Salkild gets it done on the feet, but you never know. He is kind of jumping up competition fairly quick. Dariush was a huge step up from his last fight. Um, you know, Hack Prast is not. I don't think Hack Prast is Dariush's level. He could probably chin him now, but I don't think they're the same level, you know? And Gamrot is a little bit of a step up from Dariush. He still has a chin. So that'd be interesting to see how that one goes. Next up, into the main event, we had Jack Della Maddalena versus Carlos Prates. I mean, JDM just got battered. That's really all there is to it. Carlos looked phenomenal in this fight. You know, there really wasn't much JDM could do. Carlos was just hammering that leg kick and forced JDM to change to orthodox. Forced him to fight orthodox, which he does fight orthodox. But it's not his preferred stance. He is more of a southpaw. He's much more comfortable fighting out of southpaw. I mean, Carlos just... It's all there is to it, is Carlos looked great. He had a much better performance. It was kind of tough to watch, because it's like, wow. You know, JDM, he's a solid fighter. But he just had nothing to offer Carlos. Yeah, I mean, just a masterclass by Carlos Prates here. All my homies were up at 7 a.m. watching CP. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this. I watched the fights. Very, very tired. Started at 2 a.m. Prelims started at 2 a.m. where I was. I don't know when the main event was. I want to say main event was like 7:30, roughly. I don't know. I was kind of delusional. But, yeah, I mean, like I said, this was a solid fight. This was a good fight. This was a fun fight to watch. This was fun fight. This was a fun fight to watch. Everything else kind of sucked butt. Sorry. But that's how it goes. I guess the opener, Cody Steele versus Don Marfan, that had some fun grappling exchanges, some fun scrambles. But everything in between that was just rough to watch. But yeah, I mean, that has been the video. Thank you for watching. This has been Wheezy MMA. I'm Wheezy, and I'm out. Have a good one.